Okay, hello everyone. So, welcome back to our channel. I hope you guys are well and good. So, today we'll discuss one more question from our previous CSR NET exam. And as we can see on your screen, the question is from electronics. Okay, so this question carries 5 marks. This question carries 5 marks. Okay, so the question is, in a collector feedback circuit, this circuit is given and this is a collector feedback circuit. The base emitter voltage VB is equal to 0.7 voltage and current gain beta is equal to 100, and beta is equal to, we know that is equal to IC by IB. Okay, collector current and this is base current, and we have to find out the value of IB. Okay, and these are the 4 options. Okay, so this is the resistor that is connected between the base and the collector. So this is a feedback circuit. Okay, base biased feedback circuit. So this is called biasing, and as we know that this is transistor. So why basically before coming to the question, before going to the question, so we'll discuss a little bit about the transistor functioning of the transistor. And as this is a feedback circuit, we know that as this there is a resistor connected between the input and the which is collector and the base. This is a base biasing feedback transistor feedback circuit. Okay, so we know that the transistor, what I know that the transistor, the work of the transistor is to the transistor is a device which can act as an amplifier. Okay, we use the transistor for amplifier, and also it can act as switch. Okay, so so the transistor, for the transistor to be an amplifier, the gain must be constant. Okay, so as the gain must be constant, so that's why we use a feedback circuit. So if I'll use a feedback circuit, my Q point will be constant. Okay, so we need a constant Q point for a transistor to be an amplifier. So for that we have to use this feedback resistor, so that our Q point can be constant. Now what is the Q point? As you can see, this is a common emitter transistor. So Q point is nothing but that is an operating point, or we say that is quotient point. Okay, so Q point, if we will say in a common emitter, if I will see a common emitter case, for common emitter case I will just drawing that one here. So in common emitter case, generally this is the common emitter case. We have here the base, which we use the source BS here, and here I have voltage. Just will discuss it a little bit about the Q point, because as we know, we use a feedback to have a constant Q point. Then only we can use that transistor as an amplifier. So that means transistor and amplifier means we will get a faithful amplification. Okay, so that's why we use a feedback, because everyone wants a faithful amplifier. So for faithful amplifier, the Q point must be constant. Okay, so this is my emitter, common emitter case. So here is the collector. Just the drawing may be a bit of hazy, but try to understand this. Okay, this is my load resistor. Okay, so this is VB, base voltage, and this is my IB. Okay, current IB flow over here, right? So basically we have to use the, and here we have a voltage also. We have a voltage over here, that is VCC. okay, input voltage, right? So if I'll use this Kirchhoff's law over here, I can see that using the Kirchhoff's law, this is my, this over here the collector current flows. Okay, this is the collector current, this is the BCC collector voltage, and this is the load resistance, okay, across which we determine the current. And okay, so this is my IC RC. Okay, so as you can see, IC RL. Okay, so by applying the Kirchhoff's law, this is VCC along the output side. Along the output side, if I use the Kirchhoff's law, that is VCC minus RL IC BCE. Here I have BCE. So here collector emitter voltage. Okay, BCE BCE. Just a second. Okay, so this will be BCE minus BCC plus RLIC. Okay, BCC and here BCE. Okay, BCE plus RLIC and here minus plus, here goes the BCE, that is collector emitter voltage. So BCE and here plus sign, that's why plus RLIC, and here we have minus sign, we encounter minus sign, that's why there is minus BCC equal to 0. So from this I can find like IC is equal to BCC by RL minus BCE by RL minus BCC by BCE by RL. Okay, so if just a second, this is my, if I will take BCE common over here, I will get here minus 1 by RL plus BCC by RL. Okay, as you can see, this is my IC. Okay, this is my IC. So this if I will put the graph, I will get this slope y is equal to mxc, so that I will get a slope between IC and BCE. Okay, IC and BCE. So if I will draw the curve between IC and BCE for a, just a second. Okay, so if I will draw the curve, this is my this side my BCE and this side I am taking IC. Here IC, it is collector current. So for a constant IB, I will get the values like this. Okay, this is one IB, this is one IB. I hope you guys remember this, know all these things. Okay, like this. Okay, these are my IB, right? So what happens for IC, what I will get here for according the equation I got previously in the previous page. So from that equation, if I will put IC is equal to 0, if for IC is equal to 0, I get BCE is equal to BCC. Okay, and here if I will put BCE is equal to 0, then I get IC is equal to BCC by RL. Okay, you have the equation over here, that is BCE IC is equal to BCE minus 1 by RL plus BCC by RL. Okay, so IC is equal to 0, I get BCC by RL. BC is equal to 0, I get IC is equal to BCC by RL. These are the endpoints. Okay, these are the, and for IC is equal to 0, I get BCC is equal to BCE. So I get a point over here VCC. So this is like there is a load line. Okay. Okay, just I will change the notation here. Okay, this is my VCC. So this is VCC and this is BCC by RL. So this is known as the load line. This is load line. Okay, so actually what is the point over here is the Q point lies on the load line and the Q point must be constant. Okay, so for any constant input base current, the collector current should be constant. Okay, these are the base current. So for any input base current, the collector current IC, here you can see the IC should be constant, but it is not so in some regions. As you can see, in these regions the IC is not constant, and also for this region the IC will be not constant. That's why here we will have another, like I am doing a small little one. So for this region the IC will be not constant, and for this region also, if I will draw a perpendicular here, I can see for this region also the IC is not constant. But we know that for a faithful application, for an accurate value, the IC must be constant. So to get the IC constant, but as you can see, for this region and for this regions, this certain regions, the IC is not constant. Okay, so the in those regions the transition, in those regions the transition is either completely on state or completely off state. Okay, so in these two regions this will act as a switch. As I just said it earlier, that the transistor is used as an amplifier or as switch. So for these regions, as we are not getting any constant value for the IC current, so that's why for these regions either the transistor will be in on state or in off state. Okay, so this is my IB. These are the IB values. So in the middle of somewhere I will get my Q point. This is my Q point, which is the operating point. Okay, so that's why we have to collector voltage should be selected carefully. That's why we should choose the collector voltage carefully, so that we will get a faithful amplification. Okay, so this point on the output characteristic curve is known as Q point, or that is known as the operating point. Okay, because why we are focusing on Q point? Because when the transistor acts as an amplifier, this point has to be maintained constant. Okay, this point should be maintained in at constant value when we use the transistor as an amplifier. That's where the biasing helps, because the biasing helps to provide this constant DC collector voltage. To maintain this Q point at constant value, the biasing circuit helps, which is our this one feedback circuit, which is here. Okay, the question is also about the feedback circuit. Okay, so I hope you guys are clear about the why we use a feedback circuit to maintain the Q point at constant value, and to why we need a constant Q point to to get an faithful amplification. We need the Q point must constant Q point. We need a constant Q point, because along these values we will get a IC value constant. For this, as you can see, these are the constant values of IC, but from these points we can't get a constant value for this IC. So for these regions the transistor will act as an on in, or transistor will be in on state or off state for this region and for this region. Okay, so for this region this acts as a switch. And for these regions beyond this line, for this region the transistor acts as an amplifier. Okay, so now we will come to the question. So we can find this answer easily using the KVL law. like in the output side, if we'll use in the input side, if we'll use the KVL law, we can get the answer here. Okay, so when we have a feedback bias, when we have a biasing, that is feedback circuit, so when you use a feedback circuit, in a feedback circuit, as we can see, for this purpose, like base biasing, there is base biasing technique. Okay, so this base biasing technique, what we use in that base biasing, we use if we have a VCC here and we have RC here, and we have the common emitter transistor over here. Yeah, this is very ugly, this picture is. Sorry for the mess, but I hope you guys understood this. So, and what we use in this case, we use a resistor, that is known as the feedback resistor, between the collector and the base. We use a, that is known as the base biasing. We use a this RB, that is base resistor, between the collector and the base. This is known as, this is the feedback situation. This is the feedback circuit. Okay, and here we will have here we take the output over here. This is my VC E, and we take the output over here B, and also just a bit, this is my BCE, emitter collector. Okay, and what happens over here, and here my IB is there. Okay, so now the current IB flows through the circuit. Okay, here I will get IB plus IC, current IB plus IC. Okay, so if I will use the KVL law in the input side, this is my input side. So if I will use the in the input side, if I will use the KVL law, you can see this is VCC. So VCC this way. Okay, VCC minus IB plus IC, because now there are two type of current. This current flows through the RC also. IB also flows through the RC. So there are two currents now, IB plus IC. So IB plus IC into RC minus here IB RB, we are taking like this, the KVL law, minus IB RB minus VBE equal to 0. So from this I can write VCC. Okay, what is IC here? IC is for this case, IC is equal to beta IB. So substituting this one, IC is equal to beta IB, I will get VCC minus IB RC minus beta IB RC, and here minus IB RB minus VBE equal to 0. Okay, so I have to find out IB. I want to know what will be the base current. So IB is I am taking this side IB, right hand to the right hand side. So IB, here I got IB RB plus here IB RC is there, here RC is there. So 1 plus beta RC equal to VCC minus VBE. Okay, so from that I got IB is equal to VCC minus VBE by RB plus 1 plus beta RC. So if beta is greater than 1, very greater than 1, I can write here IB is equal to VCC minus VBE by RB plus beta RC. This is my formula. Okay, this is the formula for feedback resistor. Okay, when you use a feedback circuit, this is the formula. Now I will come to the question. I will show you the two ways. We can find this answer in two ways. Easily also I can find this answer, but I want to give you the concept behind this. What is feedback circuit and why use a feedback circuit, and this is the base biasing circuit. Okay, so so that you can attend any type of any questions like this. Okay, so as we can see, where is my question? Okay, I am going to the question directly. So this is my question. Okay, this is the question. So if by seeing this, if here also I will directly apply KVL, I can get the answer over here also. Okay, there is no problem. And as beta is 100, so that's why I have taken beta. When beta is greater than 1, I can neglect that 1 in 1 plus beta part. Okay, so here just I am doing over here. I hope it will be okay. Just a minute. Okay, so here we have BCC, which is 20.75 volt. BCC is equal to 20.75 volt. It is given. Okay, so BCC minus here IC plus IB. So IC plus IB into 5. Okay, just as I have done it earlier. Okay, minus here also IB into 500. Okay, minus VBE equal to 0. So I am just putting the values I have in the formula. So IB I got BCC minus VBE by RB plus beta RC. Okay, so when I'll put these values over here, I'll get 20.7 minus 0.7, that is 20. So I'll get 20 by RB plus beta RC. So 500. What is RB? RB is 500 and RC is 5 and beta is 100. So I got here 1000. So I'll get here 0.02 ampere. So when I'll convert it to microampere, I'll get 20 microampere. So my answer will be this one. Okay, so I can directly also use this one. Just I have to remember that as this is a feedback circuit, here my there is not only IC, I will have IB also in the picture, IC plus IB. Okay, so you have to just consider this part. Okay, so I hope you guys got this. If I remember IC plus IB, if I can identify this as a feedback circuit, and if I remember when feedback circuit is used, there is IC plus IB, then I can easily use the KVL law and I can get the answer. So just I hope you guys understood this well, and if there is any doubt, you can comment in the comment section. Okay, so thank you guys. Stay safe, stay safe and stay home.